Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Center for Operations Research and Data Science. My name is Kwame Ade. I am the founder and director of CORDS, and I'm also an assistant professor of business analytics at Minnesota State University, Moorhead. The goal of today's video is to illustrate how to plot trends and an animated bar chart using Tableau. With that being said, we move straight to our goal for today. So essentially, I'm using Tableau Public Edition, and this is the free edition. So it's not able to do advanced and sophisticated analysis, but it's still good for our purposes at this level. So normally, when you install it on your desktop and you open the Tableau, interface will look like this. So you see here, you can connect to a Microsoft Excel file. You can connect to a text file. You can connect to a JSON file. You can use Microsoft Access, a PDF file, spatial file, or a statistical file. Or you can also connect to a server. Now, in today's video, we are going to conduct our illustrations with a Microsoft Excel file. So I'll go straight to this Excel file, which is called energy demand data. So this energy demand data consists of US energy consumption at the state level. So we see the states here and their codes, and we also see the consumption, and we see the year of consumption. I can decide to drag it here, or I can decide to just leave it as it is. So then I want to move on and create a worksheet. Now, when I click on the worksheet, I still see my variables here. Now, the good thing about using Tableau is it can tell you just as you see it what type of variable it is. So when I click here, I'm seeing that this variable is a string variable. And you see the string variable is being denoted by this globe-like shape here. So when I see this sign here, I know that state code is also a string variable. So I can click here to confirm to see if the state code is a string variable. So by so doing, we look at this here, and then we see that it's a string variable. Then we see year here, and we see that year is a numeric variable or a number variable. And it is telling us that this is a number variable that is a whole number, in the sense that there are no decimal places in there. So when I come here, I know based on this hash shape or sign here that consumption is also a whole number or a numeric variable. Then Tableau generates the latitude and the longitude for me, seeing that this is what a geographical data. So the first thing we want to do is we want to see if we can create some trends or plot some trends from this data. So I bring year to my columns here. And then the next thing I do is I bring consumption to the rows here. So what we see here is that we are seeing the overall trend of consumption for the whole period. That's from 1960 to 2022. But that is not our main interest. So what we may want to do is we want to bring the state variable into the color, and it's requesting what we want to do because there is a lot of state observations in there. So we see that this is a lot. There's 51 states here. So it's very difficult to decipher. Now, the next thing I can also do is I can just say label it for me. So I can see the labels showing here. So instead of me having this clustered here, I can select a few states using the filter function in Tableau. So first, I say clear everything for me, and then I select some states of interest. So I select this state, California. I select Louisiana, and then of course, Minnesota, North Dakota, and Texas. That should be good. That was not what I wanted to do. That should be good for an illustration. So I get these ones. So I do that again here. And then I select Connecticut. And I have California. Then there's one state I missed, which is Louisiana. So I click on OK so that I don't repeat that mistake again. So now I see that I have successfully filtered the states. So Texas is consistently the highest energy consuming state, followed by California. And there are times when Louisiana is the second highest consuming state. And we are seeing that in recent times there's a convergence. And Minnesota is way down, Connecticut is way down, and then North Dakota is also way down. So this is something cool you can do, and then it helps you to visualize the trend of energy consumption. You can decide to come here and say you want to edit the colors. So you can click on, let's say, Minnesota and say you prefer this color. You click on Connecticut and you say you prefer this color. You click on Texas and you say you prefer this color or maybe this color. So once you click on OK, this is the change. So this is one aspect of data visualization in Tableau. So we can decide to create a new sheet here. And then based on this new worksheet, we want to plot an animated graph. So for us to plot an animated graph, I start by bringing consumption in column over here. Now, once I bring consumption in column, again, I want to bring my states in the color section. And then I want to label it so that I can see some of them. So once I have this showing, the next thing I want to do is I want to create a variable that is called the rank variable. So I come here and I say create calculated field. And I call this variable rank. So when I come here, I use a function called rank unique. So rank unique, I'm trying to do that based on the sum of the state's consumption per year. So it's the year that brings the uniqueness, right? So I bring this and then I bring an expression and I say use consumption. Then I close with a square bracket and I bring the second bracket. So already we are seeing here that it says the calculation is valid. So I just click OK, since the calculation is valid. So then the next thing I want to do is I want to bring my rank to the rows. So when I bring my rank to the rows, I'm seeing this showing here. So let me tell Tableau to compute using state instead of table across. So Tableau computes using state here. But Tableau is considering the rank as continuous. So we see here is considering the ranks as continuous. But I want the ranks to be discrete. So I click here. So there you go. Now, this information we are seeing here is for the overall period. But however, we want to see the consumption per year. So I bring the year into the pages here. So I keep it here in the pages. So now what we are seeing here is that this is the consumption for the states in 1960. So the highest was Texas, followed by California, then Louisiana, and then we are seeing Ohio here and Pennsylvania. But the question we want to ask ourselves is, will this change in the next year and so on and so forth? But before I do that, let me just label this. So I want to change only the name of the sheet here. So I say energy consumption by state. And then I like to center this and I click OK. So this is energy consumption by state. So then after I have done this, I come here to the format and then I click on animations. So when I click on animations, putting at this time is going to be very fast. So I just want to use this time, which is going to let it be slow. That is 1 second, which is going to let it be slow. So once I have that fixed, I can come here and click on play. So let me click on play and there we go. So it's changing. So in 64, Texas is still the highest. Let's come down here and see if we are seeing any changes. Yes, we are seeing some changes. So this is for 71. But we do see that Texas, California, and Louisiana are consistently the top three. And we see down here, there are movements every year. And if you want to actually see it properly, we could even go very slow. Then once we go very slow, we can click on play and then we can be able to discuss it properly. So there was a year Illinois was fourth and New York became fourth. So we see fourth and fifth is consistently being interchanged between Illinois and New York. Now, Viewing this, assuming we want to reverse it, we can always use this particular feature here to look at it backwards. So this is one cool data visualization you can do